Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Chewin the BBQ Fat. As you can see, I'm not in my normal area. I'm outside in the driveway having to bum internet from my neighbor. Y'all know Jimmy, cooking partner Jimmy. So
Barbecue style.
here we are. Yeah, exactly. Barbecue style. Hope everybody's having a good time. Like the page, share the page, and I'm really excited about tonight. We're expanding our regions. We're headed to the West Coast today. It looks like so. We got all kind of good stuff planned tonight. And once again, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, and hope everybody has a great night tonight. But real quick, going over our weekend, we were fortunate enough to be able to cook this weekend. We were at Hoggin on Lanier. We had close to 90 teams out there cooking this weekend, and an SCA event with 60 something teams. So it was a great opportunity to cook. And hope everybody had a good time cooking out there enjoying themselves. Right? And once again, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook. I think if one of y'all, if you turn down the volume on the, you can hear it. But anyway, what's up, Wes? What's up, Lincoln? Hope y'all are doing well. And but anyway, Jerry, go ahead and introduce yourself. And everybody knows you, but I just want to give you an opportunity to tell a little bit about yourself, your cook team, what all you do, where all you cook, and we'll go from there, bud.
Yeah, my team name's Burning and Luton out of Corona, California. And we've been cooking competitions since 2012. We're currently the team of the year in California. We were able to win that last year. We had a good year last year, ended up top 10 KCBS. Up until COVID hit, we were top 5 this year. And things got shut down, and we haven't really competed since. On the team is myself and my wife. We travel mainly, locally. We'll go to Arizona, Utah, North Cal, and where else? But just keep it, within maybe 10 hours driving distance. We have been to the Jack a couple times. Yeah, and we signed up for the Royal. We haven't done that yet, but we're hoping to do that this year if they don't cancel it. We've also gone to Australia last year to compete, and that was a lot of fun. And that's it. We can't wait to cook again. We did do a Utah KCBS comp in June, and ever since then we've been going back to Utah for SCAs because that's the only thing there is. So
yeah,
SCA is all that you can find right now.
Yep. And each one, it's
that's good.
About a 10-hour drive.
Wow. I'm sorry. I cooked my first.
Your neighbor's internet.
Experience. Had a great time. I'm moving a little bit closer to the my neighbor's house. See if we can.
You might need to borrow his kitchen. Jerry, you breaking up there?
Me?
No, yeah. No, you see him breaking up?
Oh yeah. He's frozen.
Yeah. All good. So tell me, Jerry. Tell me about your winning secret to barbecue. Tell me for real. Like, come on, what are you doing? Oh, we're back.
There you go. There's somebody back. Can y'all hear me? And if you can hear me now, let me know.
Yeah, I almost.
There we go. Hey, Shannon.
Winning secret to barbecue before you came back on too. So thanks for interrupting. Are we good? Are we here?
Yeah, we're good. Smitty, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit now? Y'all go ahead and talk. If I go out, y'all will still be on.
Absolutely. So, I'm hosting the hell
out
of the show.
So,
I'm Sterling from Luton Booty Barbecue. I've been on the competition scene since 2009. I've had my product now out since 2015, I think, is when I had Everything Rev first come out. And I pretty much quit my corporate job to run a barbecue life about 4 years ago. It's been coming up on 4 years now to run my barbecue line, to expand my product, to work with Green Mountain Grills. And sponsors like Grill Greats, and I'm also a rep for those products, so I cover a couple states and work with dealers, setting up new products and working with existing accounts that we have, and then working my own line, which over the last I guess 4 years now, it's been a grind and the hustle, getting it out there. But I've been able to get on thousands of shelves across Ace Hardware and dealers like Big R, Sportsman's Warehouse, Barbecues Galore, Barbecue Island here in town. 6 countries importing it right now, and so I've kind of got into the scene competing in 2009, and then for the last few years, kind of been focusing on branding, building my product, and getting out there. But man, I always love to throw down and cook meat in the parking lot anytime I can. And Jerry and I actually do a couple classes together as the West Coast Championship Barbecue class that we've done for the last 2 years. So right now, I'm really focusing on education and building the product and building my line and continuing to cook when we can. Like Jerry said, there's competitions are hit and miss out here. And SCA seems to be opening in Utah, and both of us will actually be in a SCA, actually a KCBS comp in Utah in 2 weeks at Kanab. So, that's kind of in a nutshell where it is and where it's at. I think we got you frozen again. Is he frozen, Jerry?
Yeah, he is.
He is. All right, Jerry. So tell me, what's on slate?
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do some Utah taxes, Utah state taxes.
You might, yeah. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get it like 1099. It's just gonna be like all your Utah winnings. What's up? We're back with Brian. Brian, tell us how you been.
I'm back. Man, good to see you guys. I'm just walking over my neighbor's house. Gonna sit in this front porch.
Absolutely, man. Grab a beer and have them sit down.
Just walk in.
Exactly.
Jimmy,
do you mind
Jimmy.
if I have a couple friends over?
Yeah, Jimmy. Welcome to, everybody, here's Jimmy. Welcome
hey,
to
Jimmy. What's up, buddy? Tell Jimmy I'll send him some
Thanks,
reps.
Jimmy.
Get his address. I'm gonna send him.
That's
a
right.
rep. I'm gonna give him a sampler pack for being an awesome neighbor.
Awesome. I will.
Make sure to send me a private
That's
message.
too cool. Sorry, guys.
No worries, man. Go ahead.
Okay,
I'll assume control.
You're back, Smitty. Just keep rolling with it. You're doing a great job. No, I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
There you go. I will. Hey, just chewing the barbecue fat. If Robert was on, all y'all remember Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. He's really a legend.
He's called me the Dollar General of internet shows, and once again, it has proven to be true. So anyway,
man, I've cooked classes all across the world. I've seen people who got up together and the ones who don't.
And we definitely don't.
You adapt and you overcome. That's the military. And you adapt and you overcome, right?
That's right. That's what we're doing. I think I've got good internet now, so we should be rock and rolling the rest of the night. I'm just sitting outside, and hopefully it'll be a good show. But anyway, so Josh wants to know when the Jerry Aguilar SCA class is going to be.
Maybe after I win one.
You've been pretty
okay. There you go. Sorry, I'm trying to read some of the internet.
Jerry.
What's that?
The last SCA comps have been in Utah. You've done the last 2 or 3, and I think you've placed in all 3 of them. Have you not?
Yeah, I was 2nd, and then 10th, and then 5th. A couple days ago.
Consistent right there. I competed in all 3 of them, and I didn't walk in either of them. So you're doing something right.
Man, I cooked a steak this weekend, and it was so ugly. I've never done this before. The spinalis was falling off. It just looked like it blew up. And I ended up 38th out of 76 teams. So, whatever. It must have tasted good, which apparently in SCA, that is one of the biggest deals is the flavor. Is that right?
Absolutely. Everybody out there, if you look at people, they're all cooking good steak. They all can cook well. All of our products out there, there's amazing product out there. People know what they're doing. There's online classes, there's a lot of information out there. So I guarantee you all those guys are cooking phenomenal steaks. And at that point, like, how do you judge this guy from this guy? It's just, it's got to be that flavor that stands out. It's got to be that pop, that something that makes the judges remember that they ate your stuff, But at the end of the day, consistency is where it's at. And if you look at Jerry, he's been crushing it. I've been less than consistent, but, I like to play around a lot.
I hear you. That seems to be my my problem also. Corby, I'm sorry about the internet package. I'm going to work on that. I'll make sure that gets better. All right, somebody from Australia. What's up, Daniel? Looking forward to. I'm actually having
missed it
somebody
already.
from Australia come on in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited about that. So,
Who you having? Come on. I know a lot of those cats.
oh, do you really?
I've been over there 9 times, 7 for 7 for barbecue, 2 while I was in the Navy. But from the Invitational the last 3 years, cooked the Gold Coast competition in Burley the last 2 years. One with Daniel from Big Smoke Barbecue, and then Melbourne Meat Stock last year was a great event. So yeah, I've been over there several times, and it's great to work with my international importer Hark, which imports my product and Green Mountain Grills, Grill Grates, and a lot of products that I rep as well. So it's amazing to go down there and just represent the brand and cook meat in different parking lots, you know.
That's right. We're having Paul with the King and his Q.
Yeah, I love Paul.
Nice.
So,
I'm interested to see what this question is. We've seen a lot from Paul, from King and his Q.
yeah, so they're number one in the internet. I think they're almost sweeping the Australian KCBS.
Yeah, Paul's done amazing. Him and his wife Diane. They cook on Gateway Drums down there, and they've been just going across the country. I saw him in Brisbane, at the just south of Brisbane on the Gold Coast for the Burley Comp last year, and they did very well. And I've known Paul since I started coming down there at the first year in 2017 for the Invitational. So a great dude, great barbecue guy, and just a great ambassador for the sport.
Awesome.
He comes out every year out here to cook the Norco one too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been out. I've seen him there. The first year I was there was like 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. And then you've seen him the last couple of years. Yeah, he's done everywhere, you know.
Nice. So yeah, we're excited about that. But you guys are bringing in people from all over the world now, not just the U.S. You two are bringing in people from all over. So so I've been asked to ask you two, I guess both of you, about chicken. What is
Gary? What are you doing for chicken? I want to know what you're doing.
Old style.
You tell me what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Just chicken. You know, there's a lot of teams that do good in chicken, and that's one of the categories. You'll see the scores; they're always high.
Yeah.
So
you gotta just 75 10th place chicken all day,
or out of 10.
Yeah,
sometimes
easy.
So my question is, here in the East Coast, Southeast, a lot of people are some people are going to legs. Legs or thighs a bigger deal out y'all's way?
I think we both have conflicting ideas on that. Jerry, you primarily cook thighs.
Thighs, yeah.
And I for the last, I think, 2 years now, I've concentrated on legs, and I've been doing legs, and I think I've been more consistent with legs, the way that I do them, the way that I cook them. And I cook them very similar to thighs. You know, it's just getting that bite through skin and flavor and pop and all that, you know, what the judges are looking for. It's got to be, everybody's cooking good food. It's got to be that next level. It's got to be obviously juicy and moist and tender and bite through, but that flavor's got to be there. And I've been using my Gold Star chicken since I got a first place chicken at in the American Royal Invitational in 2014. And that was pretty much the base of what Gold Star chicken is. And I got 9 perfect 180s in chicken since that one. And Jerry, you've got several yourself. It's a great herby, salty combination that works with chicken. But more about chicken as a process.
Yeah, we'll get into the rubs in a little bit. But I want to hear more about what are they looking for out there on the West Coast? Are they looking for sweet? Are they looking for heat?
Jerry, what are they looking for?
They're looking for something balanced. It's got to be balanced. Everything's got to be in there. There's got to be a little heat, a little everything. They don't like. I know out there. I think people take it to 205 or above 200, and it's real soft type of tenderness. I've done that out here and haven't done so good, so I take it back a little.
When you say over there, you're talking about on our side of the country, right? You're talking about the East Coast. Okay.
East Coast, Midwest.
Yeah.
What do you cook to
Oh,
internal?
I take it to 196,
196.
195.
You know
Yeah.
what? I want to be over 200 in mine. I'm looking for about
Oh, yeah.
202. Yeah. I want that leg to be soft. I want it to be a soft bite where that skin
Yeah.
just melts into their mouth. The injection, the flavor, everything's there. But I'm looking for about 202. You know, around my
So-
style of cooking. But we also may cook
There you
on.
go.
What do you cook your chicken on? What smoker? You cook a GMG chicken?
GMG.
Yeah, me too. Me too. What temperature do you cook at?
I cook at 300
Yeah,
for
you're a
most
little
of
bit
the
hotter.
time.
I'm a little bit about 285 ish, like around there. So you cook maybe a little bit hotter, but that I don't. It's been doing well for you.
Mhm.
That's interesting. Normally, the higher the cook temperature, the higher the internal temperature you're going. But Jerry, you're
Exactly.
saying you're going with 300 with a lower internal temperature.
Cooking thighs, you're taking a lot. Are you taking a lot of that fat out? You're taking the
I am.
vein
And
out. You're taking.
I mean, I know that tenderness, that real soft tenderness. Mine's hardly ever like that, and I
You got a
seem to
good
do
bite
good with it.
texture to it.
It's good. It's still tender, but it's not that mushy tender.
And I've seen your thighs. You got 6 pretty much in the box that fill up the box.
And I only cook 9.
Yeah, you cook
Nice.
9. You put in
Yeah.
6, and those
It's
6
liberating.
much. Exactly. I cook 10 chicken legs, and I'll cook depending on the size, 6 to 7 in the box, depending on the layout. I always say the meat will tell me how it wants to be in the box. So, I'll put 6 or 7 based off of what they look like, their size, shape, form, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I've seen you do those big pillows, and then they look beautiful. And Jerry and I have been teaching a joint class together for the last 2 years, the West Coast Championship Barbecue class. So he does a couple meats, I do a couple meats, and we've been switching off the last couple years which meats we cook. So you get to see his style of cooking, you get to see my style of cooking, which to me, I love it. It's 2 different ways, and I'm very Jerry's scientific. Jerry has 27 notes on how to apply rub, and I'm pretty much put an even code on it. The meat will tell you. So I love the dynamic that we have together when we teach the classes, and I think that anybody who's taken our class has gotten a lot of amazing education and knowledge and just different ways of doing things, which I love about barbecue and cooking is, there's a million ways to get to the end result,
Yeah.
and there's not one that's right. The one that's right is the way that you do it,
No, that works for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jerry, what of these 27 steps? What's the most important step that you have? Or is there anything? And you don't have.
I think they're all important. They're all important.
Okay.
The little things make the big thing, right?
Right. And then Sterling, I got Tim Malloy. He's asking. He wants to know. He said, "Hey, what's up? How do you keep the tendons from popping at that high of a temperature?"
Butter. So that's a good question. That's a great question. It's called blowouts. So sometimes when you have those legs and you cook them too high, that skin's going to separate, especially where you hold it, that little handle, because the thinnest skin. The skin is thin right there on that bone. So what I'm doing, Tim Malloy, is I'll take some butter, squeeze butter, pats of butter, and when I'm cooking in the pan, I load that area where those legs are with butter, like heaps of butter on it. And as that cooks in the smoke for about an hour, it's going to render. It's going to keep those areas soft and tender. And then if I see them starting to dry out, I take that spray butter that I can't believe it's not butter.
Mhm.
Just continue to hit that area throughout the whole cook. Those things are going to be wet and moist throughout the whole cook. And then when I go to foil them to get that skin really bite through, I'm going to put another layer of butter right there over those tendons, and just on that area, not the big head part, but on that area. Keep that moist, keep it buttery, so as it cooks, it's going to not want to blow out on you, which it's going to happen, and it has happened. Sometimes when you put it in the box, you can do a little cover and hide those tendons, but there's a way to, if you do have blowouts, to put them in the box, but I just keep that area moist with butter, like throughout the whole cook. Does that make
Nice.
sense? Hope so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Tim, I hope that helped. Good seeing you this weekend, by the way. Jerry, I have a question for you. In California, what kind of cookers do you see people cooking on the most?
It's probably
And
the
when I
same
say
as
that, you could say pellet grills, gravity feds, stick burner, whatever.
Drums are pretty popular right now. Drums. There's a lot of jambos out here now,
Okay.
but there's a lot of teams that'll have a drum or like a offset and a pellet grill. You see a lot of people with a pellet grill.
Okay. Because I know you said you're cooking your chicken on a
Chicken on
pellet grill,
GMG,
right?
and I got gateways for my big meats, and I take WSMs for my ribs.
Gary has 15 grills for 4 meats. You'll see him going on the comp. He'll have like 4 WSMs going. He'll have 3 drums going. He'll have a GMG going. I'm like, Jerry, what are you doing?
Not that many.
He's like, well, this one may not be ready, so I got one on standby.
Well, it sounds like it's rolling.
When the ribs in that one burned, and these are ready.
Exactly. So Jerry's got backup for the backup, and he'll have grills going just for have a grill going. But you know what? I love that he's like that, and it works for him. He's been doing amazing with it, and you know, I just got to give him like I'm a minimalist. I like to bring if I can bring like one knife and one cutting board to a comp, I would all day. You know, unfortunately, I need a few things. Jerry has 7 grills to get it done, but you know, he gets it done right, and that's what I admire about him. You know, is he's going to do to get it right every time.
Yeah, it's interesting we're having this conversation. I had a conversation with the team this weekend, and a lot of that was going on. It was one of those things like each grill has its own purpose, right? I mean, you could be using the cans or the WSMs or whatever for one step of your process. Where I think before it used to be, hey, let's go out there with one grill or one cooking apparatus and roll with it. And I think you're seeing more and more people now having 2 or 3 different grills, smokers for one category, right? I mean, it's kind of interesting to see how this is all changing.
Absolutely. Back in the day, people were rolling. Say it again. Sorry.
I'm just curious what it's like on the West Coast, because I mean, here we're seeing more and more of the jambos pop up, but of course, cans are big everywhere across the country, and stick burners are too. I was just curious. There's still a good bit of gravity fed smokers and water cookers out here too. So,
yeah, what I see mostly here on the West Coast in our area is when I first started, everybody's cooking on WSMs. Man, WSMs was what is that? I mean, I started in 2009. That's what we had. That's what we can easily go to Home Depot and pick up. There's WSMs, and then I saw these trailer smokers, so I bought a diamond plate Fat 40 big trailer smoke because I thought it looked cool. You know, oh, that's cool. They're throwing logs. That's how you cook barbecue. Blah 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 blah. So I bought one of those and sold it immediately after. I'm like, that's just by the birds. So I switched back to like the gateway drums and the GMGs, and you know, I actually won chicken first place in the invitational cooking on a GMG Davy Crockett, and with a perfect 180. So right after that is when I got hooked up with Green Mountain Grills and started doing a brand ambassador work with them, being a rep. And I've kind of gravitated towards that pellet style, and you'll see a lot of stuff on the West Coast. People are gravitating towards that pellet style because it's the ease of use. When you're running multiple pits, it's so easy to just dial it in, set it and forget it, and let the machine do the work. You know, at the end of the day, it's about an amazing product. It's not a smoky product. It's what Jerry said earlier, a balanced product. You know, not overly anything else. So I think of the pellet grills give us that flavor that we're giving. That's a balanced product, and then we can add our rubs, sauces, injections, all that kind of stuff to it later, and make it that end product that we're looking for. But I think we're still seeing a lot of the cans. You know, gateway drums have become popular. Those guys have been crushing it for years. I started cooking on drums maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and then I've seen Jerry start gravitated towards them as well. And then I'm back to drums and GMGs. You still see some Jambos out here. Jambos are classic, so some people have some Jambos. But you know, I'm seeing people with multiple pits. You know, I'm seeing people with 3, 4, 5 different pits to get exactly what they need. But except in Jerry's case, when he'll have like 8 or 10 out there doing what they need to do.
What's your favorite one, Jerry?
I like the drums, gateway drums.
And when you say you cook the big meats on there, do you have one drum or do you have 2 different drums, one for each meat?
I got one for pork, one for brisket, and I used to take one for ribs, but you know how drums are. Sometimes they get away from you, and I'd go open it up, look at the back of the ribs, and they'd be burnt. So after a few times, I'm like, okay, or it took a little rib slump to get me back to WSMs.
So you said the ribs are on WSMs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been cooking on WSM since I've known you.
How big of a difference is there in a WSM to a drum?
Well, it's not direct, so it's a little easier for me to, because I cook by myself, and you know, when the big meats are ready to be wrapped, or I'm checking the doneness, I'm ignoring the ribs most of the time. So since it's an not offset, indirect, then um, they can't be harmed too much from me not paying too much attention to them.
Gives you safety, right? You got some safety there.
I like it. Yeah, Blaine wants to know if Timmy's giving you guys royalties on all this Gateway drum talk, but I think it's great.
I hope so.
I hope so.
You may throw
we
me
cooked
a
this
bottle
weekend.
of Tennessee Red here and there, but we'll figure that
There
out.
you
later.
go. I need to get me one. I'm on the. I really want to get a Gateway drum.
I've been cooking on them now
I
for
just need to go and
5
call them and pull the trigger and have one sent in on my next order. But great products and everything, So
not only great products, but great people. I mean, the people behind products that we use, we love to support because they're not only amazing products, but they're amazing people in the industry, and people who do amazing things for barbecue, and that's people like Jerry and I like to work with. So, that at the end of the day, that's what it's about for us.
Yep.
And peace, bros. All right, Jerry. So tell me on that steak, on the third. So you've placed in steak at your last 3 comps, top 10 3 times, right?
My frozen up again.
Brian.
Am I back?
Brian.
Hey guys. Yeah, man. Good to see you guys. Y'all are just
see you, man.
Without me. Brad DuPont, Ronnie's Boudin. Have y'all had any of that out there on the West Coast?
I have not. I know. Well, so I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was raised mostly in the South. I've lived in Picayune, Mississippi, Louisville, Mississippi, Bradenton, Florida. I graduated high school in Columbus, Georgia, so I love some Boudin. When we lived in Picayune, we'd eat that all day long. But on the West Coast, obviously, it's hard to find because avocado, toast, and salmon.
If you guys need to have it, I had some this weekend.
I'll smoke it all day.
I made some of his coulashes. He said I had them and I gave them out to some people at the contest. Holy smokes, it was delicious.
I would love it.
Yeah, Brad.
PM me.
Stuff was awesome.
All day long. Jerry, you gonna be in Kanab? Why don't we have a Boudin party?
Let's do it.
Make the crawfish, make some etouffee. We'll do it all up, man.
What do you think about that, Jerry?
Lupe's down for it.
Lupe's down for it. Perfect.
So before my awesome show, I keep coming in and out. I wanted to ask about brisket.
Sure.
What is brisket like? Are y'all turning in burn ends, or are you holding off on burn ends?
I'm gonna listen to Jerry what he says, and
I mainly decided to not do them, and I even forced myself last year. I didn't even take the point. I have a whole stock of points in my freezer, so that was the only way I could keep myself from turning them in.
Don't even bring it.
Don't even bring them. So I was more consistent, and at least if it doesn't hit, it's why it's the flats you turn in. Well, when you're turning into things, like for a while I was turning in chicken thighs and chicken wings, and when I wouldn't hit, I don't know which one they didn't like. So it used to kill me not knowing.
Where'd you get that? Where'd you get that chicken wing thigh thing?
From actually from you and from Matt Dalton.
Left Coast Q. I saw that box that he did, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
How have you been doing in brisket?
How did I do the last time? Well, the last time I didn't do too good. Messing with that elevation in Utah. I mean, I got a plan for Kanab because it's even higher elevation I think.
What's the elevation it can have? Thanks for bringing that up, by the way.
I think it's 5.
Really? That
Yeah.
high? So last year I was the same thing. I was like, don't even turn in the burn-ins, leave them at home, cut it off, leave it in the fridge. And I did pretty well. I only did maybe 10 KCBS comps last year. I was concentrating on barbecue classes and branding and all that. But I got a second, a third, and the first. I think I was just turning in flat. But this year, my last comp was a local BCS comp, and I turned in burn-ins, and that was a second place brisket. But a lot of the local KCBS teams are out here cooking, and I think I'm gonna stick with burn-ins. I think they were good, and I'm gonna turn them in. I know if the burn-ins tell me not to turn them in, I won't. But I'm gonna cook them, and if they're melt in your mouth, I think that's gonna make my brisket stand apart from his. If he just does.
Well, this year too. This year I was like,
crush him.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get burn-ins perfected and start turning them in, because when nobody's turning in burn-ins, then you got to turn them in and be different.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
so I think
it's funny to see, there's cycles on Facebook, and you see that, forget burn-ins, nobody turn burn-ins, and ebbs and flows. I was doing thighs and wings for a long time. I got a lot of perfect 180s. I haven't done those in a long time. The judges stopped judging them correctly, if you will. Started hating them.
Yeah.
So, I switched to legs, and they've been, hitting. They've been liking them. So to me, I'm going to do what I'm going to do until the judges tell me they don't like it, and then switch it up. But recently, maybe I should just do what Jerry does.
And one of the comps, and a couple comps prior to it, I was almost perfecting my burn-in. So there was a comp this year where I didn't like my flat, and I liked the burn-in, so I turned in just the burn-ins, and I got second place.
How crazy is that? I mean,
so you just said you just turned in burn-ins and got second place. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Good burn-ins, right? They were melting your mouth.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit
you use bunch of beef on it.
If y'all don't mind, what is elevation? If you see 4,000 feet elevation or 5,000 feet elevation, or what does that do to your mindset going into a contest?
Well, one thing I learned is your brisket doesn't go past like 203 or 204. And if you go check it and it's tight and you leave it in, all it's doing is drying up, because water boils at that temperature, and it's all evaporating. So once you feel okay, it's getting tender, you take it out and cut into it. It's gonna be dry.
It's like poof, dust. Also, depending on your cooker, if you're cooking on a gateway drum, which requires oxygen, and I mean those things are airflow machines. You open up the vents, they suck in air, they feed the fire, exhaust. I mean, you may need that thing. When I'm cooking in Scottsdale, Arizona, at 500 feet, 600 feet elevation, I may have those valves open a quarter of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch. They're feeding the fire. That oxygen they need down here is where it's at. But when you go up north, that oxygen it's less in the air. So you may have that vent open halfway, getting that same temperature that you are in the valley. And that also leads to a couple things, fuel consumption as well. So you have to think about how much fuel you're going to use when you're up there as well. And Jerry's what's talking about is the feel and the touch, and knowing what temperature that water boils and evaporates. Science, at that point. A lot of the stuff we're doing with the Green Mountain Girls classes across the country is we're teaching the science behind of it. What's actually happened, not just this it's higher, so you have to do this. Well, why is that happening? So that's the education part of it, and elevation is key to know what elevation you're cooking at, to know your fuel, your oxygen, the feel, the touch of the meat. And so a lot of that goes into it, and Jerry's like a scientist when it comes to a lot of that kind of stuff.
Well, Jerry, since you're the scientist, I'll ask you the question. If the fuel comes into mind, do you use different kind of wood or are you using primarily charcoal?
I don't change it, but like my gateways did struggle at the last one, and I had them fully open and they wouldn't go up. So I ripped the guru right off the WSM, stuck my hand right in, put it right up to the fire. And, within a minute or two, then got a little flame going and got up to 10.
Nice.
That's
kind
how
of
you
wood
adapt and overcome.
What is the main wood used out west?
What do you use, Jerry?
I see a lot of pecan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use pecan. I use a lot of pecan too.
Yeah.
I use when I'm running my gateway drums. I like to use the Blues Hog lump charcoal. Anything big, I want big pieces in there. I want airflow in that charcoal basket. I don't want it dusty. I don't want that little pieces to clog my airflow. I want big, nice chunks so that I can have that airflow circulate throughout the drum. And then I use that as a base, and then I'll add pecan chunks to it. Arizona is known for a lot of local pecan trees. We have pecan orchards all over in southern Arizona. So it's a local wood that we use a lot. So I really love pecan. And being from Georgia, man, how can you not like pecan?
I was about to say, yeah, it sounds like mine. That sounds like
down right there. Yeah, they're all over here in Arizona too. If you come out, there's Arizona pecan orchards all over. So we use pecan wood. And then when I'm using the Green Mountain Grill for the pellets, I like to use what they have, a fruit wood blend, and it's pecan, cherry, and beech wood. And that pecan and cherry gives a nice, beautiful color. That mahogany with the cherry in there, and then that pecan wood adds that nice light smoke to it. So those, I'm a pecan person myself.
Nice. Rusty says us Highlanders need the high ground to beat you, California, Arizona.
Rusty's a great dude. Cool. You see that the company that Jerry's talking about, that was up in Lehigh. Was it in Lehigh, Utah?
That was in Ogden.
Ogden, Utah. Yeah. And Rusty, I think they just got their first.
He beat me by like a point or something.
You are GC, absolutely. And I know we've been doing a lot of stuff, and Rusty's a big proponent of his podcast and BBQ Champs Academy, which are these online classes that I did. I filmed, and other pitmasters filmed with that, and he's been a proponent and supporter of that. So thank you, Rusty, for doing that. We appreciate it, buddy. Hope to see you.
And he's a student of ours.
He is a student of ours. He went to our class. He definitely went to our in-person class, which is very exciting. I love that in-person class.
Let's talk about your class that y'all combined together. You've been doing it for 2 years, you said.
Absolutely.
What are your plans with the pandemic that we're going through? I know California is a little different. I'm not sure how Arizona is right now, but I know California, y'all are shut down. And what do y'all see in the future with classes and barbecue and everything else?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did our first class 2 years ago. So it was 2018, and we did that here at Barbecue Island in Tempe, Arizona. No, sorry,
NorCal.
Yeah, we did our first one in Northern California, in Claremont, at
Livermore at
Brian Silveria's spot at Smoke Seduction in Livermore, California. So we did our first year in California. Amazing class. Jerry does 2 meats. I do 2 meats. But not only does he do 2 and I do 2, but we weigh in on our philosophies behind each meat. So you get to see him do his way, and then me talk about kind of the way I would do it, which is, it's amazing to see 2 different perspectives on how to do it. And like I said, Jerry's very 27 pages of notes on just how to rub chicken. And I'm kind of just put a light coat on it. But we do talk about the science behind it, and we talk about different styles and ways to do it. So that was our first year. And the second year, we did it here in Tempe, Arizona at Barbecue Island, which is a phenomenal store. And so our third year would have been this year. And we wanted to go back and forth, California, Arizona. We haven't talked about moving it out of there yet, which maybe it's a good idea to move it somewhere else. Expand. Maybe we can expand this, Jerry. Let's start.
Let's go to Utah. We're practically there every weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Utah is like just north from us, so let's make it happen. So, Rusty, you there? Let's talk about a class in Utah for the 2020 LNB Burning in the Luton West Coast Championship Barbecue Class. So we kind of put it on hiatus.
West Coast Championship Barbecue Class.
That's it right there.
There
but we did put it on a hiatus this year just because obviously everything's happening, and a lot of the events in California have been shut down. In Arizona, it's been hit or miss here. But but we do have things that are starting to open up. I taught a GMG backyard pitmaster class last weekend in Las Vegas. So they started to open up and with limited people. I do have a class in San Diego scheduled in November at Hot Sauces and More, and then one October 3rd at Barbecue Indy in Indianapolis. So we are starting.
Man, this is going crazy right now. Holy smokes!
What are we doing? Got questions? Let's answer some questions.
No, well, we got. They're like Rusty keeps saying, "Do it." I got hookups. Brian, Sylvia is saying offer class. Mental Voodoo Barbecue says he's sign up. 789 Barbecue said thanks for the 182 contest after the class.
So that's the chief right there. That's senior chief in the Navy, 789. He's a great active duty military, U.S. Navy, great supporter.
The Rib King.
The Rib King, Brian Davis.
There you go. That's 789 is Brian Davis. Awesome.
Yes, he's a senior chief, if I'm not mistaken, in the U.S. Navy currently. So we like to do a lot of sport and stuff. I'm a Navy vet myself, so obviously you got to support the brotherhood, shipmates all across the country, baby.
There you go. Awesome. Yeah, it's great to see. Great to see. Gold Star Chicken. All right, so how can people sign up for your class?
Which one? I mean, I have the classes on BBQ Champs Academy. So those are live right now at BBQChampsAcademy.com. I have a full 4-meat competition barbecue class. You can see all 4 meats. We have a backyard class with 20 recipes, which me, Mark Lambert, Joey Smith from Texas Chrome. We had Craig Sherry from Texas Pepper Jelly. We had Lee Hickle from Red Mule out of the IBCA champion. Oh man, we had some amazing people out there, and we filmed these recipes. Mark Lambert, did I say Mark Lambert from Sweet Spot of Mine? Legend in barbecue. I look up to that guy so much. We all filmed these 20 backyard recipes for BBQ Champs Academy, and they're available online. They're amazing recipes. Jerry and I need to put our brains together and come up with the 2020 West Coast Championship barbecue class. So when we do put that class out and information, if it does happen, it will be on our social media pages through Instagram and Facebook as well. Luton Booty Barbecue, Burning and Luton Barbecue. So we're really kind of put a lot of the information through social media. And I'm currently working on my website to have a lot of the links to the classes available right now. So that's just another project that I've been working on through this whole shutdown and everything right now. What about you, Jerry? You want to say something?
No, man. I mean,
it's kind of like how
we'll come up with something for a class. And I'm a customer of the BBQ Champs Academy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's been crushing it. I mean, what, the last 3 steaks that you've cooked in SCA, you've landed top 10 in all 3, correct?
Right.
I think Robbie Royal is one of the.
Robbie Royal's a part of the BBQ Academy. He's a phenomenal. I've watched Robbie Royal on TV growing up in this game from day one. So on the KCBS or the barbecue side, Robbie Royal, Corey Mikes has a class.
Dave Bosca,
Mark Lambert, David Bosca's Butcher Barbecue legend in the game. He's got his class. And then there's class. I actually took John Lindsay's class. All queued up. I don't know. So I took his steak class. Shauna Jo Ropoli has her class. There's Alan Newton. There's Ty Machado. There's who else has a steak class on there? Several people. But you know what? The cool thing about this is people are giving you their experience and what it takes to win. We're taking off the edge. We're taking off years of going out there and just trying something out. People are giving you tried and true recipes of what it takes to win right there. And I love being a part of it, especially with those people. And then teaching classes with people like Jerry, who's been an amazing supporter of barbecue. Undoubtedly the best cook on the West Coast for the last easily 2-3 years. He's just been crushing it. So to be able to be in the company of those people, it's that makes my day. I mean, that's what I love about barbecue.
Well, Stan, he said that Smitty's chicken recipe is killer. So how you doing? So I would be. I feel like I need to ask what this chicken recipe that's so good is. I mean, is that something that's out there?
You know what? When I wanted to cook chicken right. And Jerry, you were at one of my, was it my first or second barbecue
First
class?
first
First
one.
class in my
In your garage.
In my garage. First competition barbecue class, my wife and I were in our garage teaching a barbecue class, and I gave away pretty much everything, which I do all the time when I do classes, as you should. But I think to me, it's about that process. When I wanted to get good at chicken, I cooked chicken nonstop. I cooked it my family got tired of eating chicken. I got tired of eating chicken. I didn't want a bite and it's gone. But you have to do it. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the energy. You can go to classes all you want. You can read, you can watch YouTube. You can read everybody's videos and comments and all that stuff. But it's not going to replace putting in the work. Getting out there on your grill and cooking chicken night after night. That's how you're going to be a better chicken cook. And that's kind of how I got. But like I said, taking these classes, it's going to cut years off that curve, because we're going to show you what the judges are looking for. And I think that's really what people want to know, is not really just how to cook a good product, what the judges are looking for, because they're going to judge you at the end of the day on this result of what they're expected. So that's what we're going to give you, what the judges are looking for. And it may be a great product. It may be, to me, I bite it and it's great, it's good, but it's not something that I'm going to eat on a daily basis. It's full with a lot of stuff. It's competition meat. We're competing to have the best product out there. So it's going to be full of a lot of flavor. You know what I'm saying? To the hilts. And
I tried to get that recipe and I failed miserably, but that's all right.
It's available at BBQChamps.com.
There you go. Perfect. Good answer. Jerry, I know you're a big fan of Loot and Booty products, correct?
Yep.
Can you tell me what's your favorite rub that we have here at Loot and Booty?
I like What's Your Beef right now. It's doing good. It does good in KCBS and in SCA.
Okay, good.
But that, I remember, what was it, 2017? Is when I started using them, and immediately my baked meats, the score just shot up. I took a third the first contest, and I hit up Smitty. I said, "Hey, how do you use them?" So he told me what to use. I couldn't believe, using everything rub on brisket, but I did it, and score shut up.
Because I know Smitty can tell us about his rubs, but I want to hear from somebody that's using them, right? Like that's why that's why I'm asking you, Jerry. How do you describe the What's Your Beef or the rubs that you're?
So and the reason it was easy for me to just substitute them, if anybody out there is using slabs for chicken, slabs, bird and bones, you can substitute this one right in. If you're using a rub like a simmering docks or zero to hero, that type of rub, you can substitute everything rub right in. And as far as the beef rub, that's just something you can sprinkle on your brisket, and it's going to add to the flavor. Not too much, because it's pretty heavy. I mean, it's pretty heavy on the flavor. You overdo it, it's going to overpower it. But it's a great rub to use. I use it on my steak. And now the new rub,
okay.
I actually had a sneak peek bottle from Smitty of his Jolly Roger. I didn't even know the name of it, so it was just a black rub. And I remember when I got it, I couldn't believe that. I'm looking at it, trying to figure it out, and every component in it is black. But you taste it, and you get a lot of garlic and a little heat from that jalapeno. And I don't know how he does it. When you look at it, it looks like he just ground up charcoal. So
there's no charcoal in it.
Really?
So I've seen
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So I've seen this rub. What is the what makes it black? What was your thought process?
So the blackening agent in my rub is a kiln dried coconut shell. So they're taking the coconut shells and kiln drying them like they would wood or charcoal. And then that is actually adding some of the flavor as opposed to the bitterness that you would with charcoal. And then we're adding the normal ingredients, the jalapenos, the dehydrated garlic and the salt, onion. And then, there's some MSG in there. It's competition. We want flavor pop. So it's going to give you that flavor. But we are subtracting the activated charcoal and adding some coconut shell derived, the the activated chalk are derived from coconut shells. So it's a different product. It's different than pretty much a lot of stuff out there because it does have that unique flavor that's not bitter, and it gives you everything that you're looking for.
And what are you looking to use this rub on? What category? Jerry, what categories would you use it on?
What would you use it, Jerry?
Brisket.
Barbecue? Yeah, brisket all day. But for backyard, I put that
backyard right here in the kitchen. It's right there, right next to the stove.
I put it on eggs the other day. I put it on popcorn. You know, I put it on my foot and eat it if you want to. It's that good. But you know, I do like. I've been using a form or a version of it on brisket to give me that nice dark, you know, bark and that coat for several years now, and it just became recently to where I got it to the market. But what I was always looking for was I've been cooking hot and fast for a while, for several years now, and I never really got that bark that I was looking for with the flavor. So I wanted something that if I was cooking hot and fast brisket, that I can create that nice bark in the 2.5 hours that I actually have that brisket in the smoke, you know, and then I'm wrap it and come to tenderness, you know, by that time it's pale brown at best, you know, depending on the brisket and the time it's in the smoke, but that bark is going to give you really that good look with the flavor that you want. So it's a double punch. It's look, flavor, and it's got all the components there that are awesome, not only for competition, but, you know, backyard. And really my focus on my products are to that backyard, you know, that backyard, that guy who just wants to experiment cooking all kinds of stuff. And that's what I really tailor my products to, is that the competition barbecue products, but for that backyard guy who can cook anything, you know. Jerry, tell me about what you think.
Well, the way I see it, it's if you want some salt, if you want some garlic and a little heat, then that's the rub.
That's it. It does what it does. Are you still live or are you frozen?
Nice. It says it's good on chicken too.
Frozen.
The video's frozen. He's there, but
he's there, but he's not.
Did I lose y'all again?
No,
there you go.
You got frozen a little bit, but we're all good.
All right,
all right, you're live now, I think.
All right, sorry about that, guys. This has been another wonderful show here that I've.
It's been an unprecedented,
but that's all good. Yeah, exactly right.
We're losing him there. I think his neighbor needs to pay the internet bill.
Well, so what is y'all schedule?
Can you hear him?
Well, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
it's cutting up.
Yeah, it's cutting out, but we got you now.
All right, just real quick. This will be the last question. What is y'all schedule look like for the rest of the season?
What do you got, Jerry? Go ahead. What's your schedule like?
So Kanab, Utah. It's a KCBS comp in a couple of weeks.
Yep, August like 14th weekend, I think it is.
Yeah, and the week after that, there's an SCA back in Utah, in Richfield,
Utah.
And then what's next?
American Royal.
Actually, SCA in Utah, I think.
What weekend?
Isn't it? Up in American Fork.
What weekend?
I think it's the weekend before the Royal. So I'll probably do that one as well then. Do the Royal. And
oh yeah, that's Q in the low.
I think after the Royal there's another SCA, I think, scheduled for Northern California. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I already paid for that one.
Keep October in Arizona open because we're looking for a double SCA here.
Yeah, I heard. So yeah, that's.
Go ahead.
Other than that, I mean, the rest of the year, I think it's all SCA. I mean, we got a double out here in November at the BBQ HQ, and then the Woodshed partnered up with somebody, and they're doing one at the start of December.
Beautiful.
SCA.
Are you going to come out here? There's a case, you know, that KCBS that's at the end of the year here.
December.
National, yeah.
Yeah, if it happens.
Supposedly it's on, so we'd love to see you out here again.
And I heard it might be a double, so
Yeah,
that's
that'd be
gonna be
awesome.
a good one.
I've been trying to work with them to maybe add an SCA if possible.
Hell yeah!
It just seems like the board is always turning over.
Right.
So let's see, what do I got coming on? So this weekend, I'm actually headed out to Enid, Oklahoma. There's a SCA on Friday night and a KCBS. John Reeves from Smoking X. He's a great ambassador for Green Mountain Grills out of Lubbock, Texas. I'm going to hook up with him and we're going to drive up to Enid and do the SCA KCBS this weekend. I'll see my buddy Jerry in Kanab, Utah for a KCBS there the following weekend. Let's see. Oh man, August that puts me into September. Q in the Lou may or may not happen, which is an awesome event in St. Louis, Missouri, with like the Denver Barbecue Festival. Q in the Lou. It's a huge festival that we put on, and Green Mountain Grills is a major sponsor. We put on shows, demos, all that. So it's scheduled. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. That's the weekend before the American Royal. I'll be back for the American Royal for the. Oh man, this may be my 7th or 8th year in a row coming on the American Royal. Always an amazing event. We've done well there, and we love seeing all our family and friends there. And then I have a class October 3rd at Barbecue Indy in Indianapolis with Green Mountain Grills, and November 14th, approximately that weekend, at Hot Sauces and More in San Diego, another Green Mountain Grills Backyard Pitmaster class. And then we're just starting to fill in dates for other events right now. You know, the COVID's put a damper on a lot of things, but you know, we're starting to open up and you know, starting to cook more meat in parking lots, hopefully, as we move along here, man.
It's awesome. I'm glad we were able to cook and y'all are able to do things. And I'm looking forward to the Royal. From everybody I've talked to, everybody says it's going to be a go. And
oh man, if it happens, it's going to be a blast. There may be some people need some like alcohol inducements out there because it's going to be everybody's going to be ready to get out and have a good time and enjoy each other's company. I'd love to see you out there. Feel free to come by our camp and have a good time. And you know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful your neighbor has amazing internet. So thank him again. And please send me his address because I'm going to send him a rub pack.
You got it. I will do it. Guys, thank you so much. I apologize for the technical difficulties that we have. I'm in the process of starting. I'm just going to start completely over and go for it. And see if I can.
I've said that in barbecue for the last 10 years, man. I'm just gonna start over. I'm gonna sell everything and start new. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
But anyway, you guys, y'all have been awesome. Jerry, thank you so much for coming on. Smitty, it's always a pleasure when you come on. You do a great job. Thank you so much. Love your rubs. We have them. We carry them here.
Thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it. Atlanta Barbecue Store, awesome. Yeah. We appreciate you guys being a sponsor, and a vendor of ours. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for inviting us on.
Man, I very much appreciate it, guys. You guys don't know. You don't even understand how happy I am to be able to get some people from the West Coast on, and I want to be able to spotlight how some of the best cooks in the country, right? And you're two of the best. And thank you so much for coming on. And hopefully somebody learned something tonight. And how can people get in touch with you? Do y'all have any social media or whatever? Sorry,
Jerry, you go first.
Mainly on Facebook, so it's Burning and Looting BBQ. I'm on Instagram, but I don't do much there. It's BNL_BBQ.
It's just you plugging in your Tesla car every time you charge.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You can find me on Facebook at lootandbootybarbecue.com, on Instagram at lootandbootybarbecue.com. Our website's www.lootandbootybarbecue.com. We got all our products. It's been crazy right now, so I have some products that are out, but I am getting a new shipment in the next week, and I'll have all the Jolly Roger back in stock. I sold a pallet of it in 6 days. It was crazy.
Oh, shit.
So I'm excited for that to get back in stock and get back on the shelves. So thank you guys for supporting and all your love and supporting my business. It's been just phenomenal. And then thank you guys for supporting and having us on, Brian. We appreciate it, and thank you for all the love, man.
No problem, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. If anybody has any questions, feel free to get in touch with these guys. They're great people. They'll answer any questions you have. Just don't ask for all the recipes. But anyway,
I'll refer you to Jerry.
That's right. Jerry's all over it. Y'all have a wonderful night, and
cheers, guys.
See you. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you soon. I'm Chewin the BBQ.
Good night.